Have you ever received bad advice? I have, and I'm so thankful that I had the wisdom to know that it was bad and I didn't follow through. Well, you think about one advice that you received and think about when you realized that you were actually this close to implementing an advice, and imagine the situation you would have landed in. How did you feel? Well, that's what today's video is going to be about. A lot of advice are circulating the internet as relating to wedding planning, and they are not necessarily the best, and I pity couples who have actually implemented such advice. We will be going over about a couple of advice today, maybe 5, maybe 7. We'll see what we have. We'll go over some advice that are in circulation today, and I would help you understand why implementing those advice would land you in some very deep, hot trouble. So let's jump right in and save some couples today.
Hey there, I'm Kemi, an on-demand wedding planner, and I help engage couples with the guidance and coaching needed to navigate the wedding planning journey. Need help with brainstorming, tips and tricks, or just a listening ear? I'm the girl to call. So, let's connect.
So before we jump into dissecting this advice, I'd like to put out 2 major things. One, there is no particular method to how these advice have been ranked. I may have subconsciously ranked them in the order of how much they've been most entertaining. Also, 99% of the times, these advice are bad. But there's also that slim chance that there's that 1% time when it's actually good advice for some people. So it's important that I put out that disclaimer that sometimes, maybe 1% of the time might be good for some people. But it's not the norm, and it's not the general application. Most times these are bad advice. So if you fall in that 1% group, do not shoot the messenger. I am just sharing information about what 99% of the times is often wrong advice. Okay, so now let's get busy. The very first advice I have, well, it's not majorly an advice as such. It's more of a mindset theme. But have you heard people that say, "Oh, your wedding is the happiest day of your life"? Well, I don't think so. I don't think that the wedding is the happiest day of your life. It should not be looked at as the happiest day of your life. You're just beginning to tap into another phase of your life. You're still gonna you're still gonna do other things. You're gonna explore places. You're gonna accomplish things. If you want to have children, you're gonna have children. If you want to do some great discovery, you will still go after those things. So if you are thinking of your wedding as the happiest day of your life, then what happens to those other things that you want to do? Also, I think it's just unnecessary pressure that you are putting yourself under to think that your wedding is going to be the happiest day of your life. You're going to be under pressure to make it perfect, and life isn't perfect. So why should you be under pressure to make one day perfect because it's supposed to be the happiest day of your life? I think it should be rephrased as your wedding is one of the happiest days of your life, and that's actually I'm most comfortable with. You're going to have a wonderful wedding celebration. It's going to be a very happy day. So it should be one of them, but it shouldn't be looked at as the main or as the happiest day of your life. So let's change that vocabulary. Let's change that expression. The wedding is not the happiest day of your life. It is one of the happiest days of your life. Okay. Now, let's jump into serious business here. You should invite them, their family. That's one advice that you should run away from as soon as you hear it. You don't just invite anybody to your wedding. You don't just invite people to your wedding because they are tagged family. You don't just invite people to your house. You want to make sure that you have some relationship with that person, or you have certified that you're safe around such people, and you've done your due diligence with people coming into your house or coming into your space. Well, you can transfer that to your wedding. For your wedding celebration, you don't want just anybody there. If you consult with Professor Google, you'll find out various strategies for determining who you should invite to your wedding and who you should not invite to your wedding. So I'm not going to get into that now, but I'm just going to address this. Most times we think family members must be at our weddings. They do not. They do not need to be at your wedding. The fact that somebody is a family member does not mean that they have to be at your wedding. It would be good if they could be at your wedding. Only if they were well-meaning and if you had a good relationship with them, yeah, that's fine. But you should not feel obligated to invite anybody to your wedding just because they're family. And I'm talking more about family today, because for friends and co-workers and all of that, we can find good excuse to exclude them from the guest list. But most times, I have seen many couples feel obligated to invite certain people to their wedding celebrations because they are family members. I'd like to share again with you, because their family does not mean that they have to be there. Also, bear in mind that several things play a factor into determining who should be on the guest list. So take your time in deciding who you want to be there, what experience you want to have with your guests. Now, if you want to have a very big party and you don't care, then that's fine. You can invite whom and anybody. But if you're working with a particular number and you have certain resources you're working with, and you must be within the constraints of that, of those resources, then it is important for you to know that sometimes it's okay to cut off family members from the guest list. You do not need to have them on the guest list if they are not on that level of importance to you. So the next advice I'd like to share is a rather interesting advice, because it says, do not tell the vendor it's for a wedding or they'll charge you extra. Really, people, come on. I'd like to ask you this question. Imagine I was your friend and said, hey, let's go out, and I don't tell you where you're going to, and you get there and you find out you're not properly prepared. Would you like it? No, you would not. Nobody wants to show up unprepared, especially in a professional capacity. No vendor wants to show up at an event having prepared for a different kind of event. You might think that you are saving yourself some, I don't know what it is you think, you might be saving maybe some money. I don't even see how that works. But let's assume here, because that's the way the advice is, you want to save some money, so you trick the vendor into thinking that it's a different kind of event. And then they show up to the event and find out that it's actually a wedding. The joke is going to be on you, because they have not prepared to capture or to service a wedding. So they're going to render the service to the best of their ability based on what they have prepared for. And you cannot hold anybody accountable for not delivering on what you did not tell them about. If you want to have a wedding grade delivery, then you tell your vendors it's for a wedding. Now I'm going to quickly go over why it's important and maybe explain why there might be an extra charge. I don't understand where this extra charge is coming from. A vendor's fees is the vendor's fees regardless of what events they are. That's why there are packages. There are packages to the services that vendors offer, and you pick a package that works for you. So let's put the matter of the fee aside. But if a vendor prepares to come to a birthday party and they get to a wedding event, that's actually not going to be a good thing, because they did not plan to come to a wedding event. Let's assume a photographer. The photographer did not come with the extra shooter. The photographer would not come with all the lens that are needed to capture your event from a near distance or a far distance. Talk about the DJ. The DJ did not come with extra microphones or extra speakers or extra cables. There are a lot of things that go into preparation on the side of the vendor, and they need to know what they're getting into before they come to deliver their service. So we've gone over why it's important for vendors to know exactly what they're signing up for. If it's a wedding, let them know it's a wedding, and do not trick them. I beg you, please do not trick your vendors, because it will backfire. And this fire burns. It burns badly. I am an on-demand wedding planner, meaning I work with couples and I give the guidance and the coaching that they need as they plan the wedding, especially if they are deciding to plan the wedding themselves. So if this is you, I invite you to leave me a message and let's talk about how I can help you navigate wedding planning, because it should be a wonderful journey, and I'm hoping that you are enjoying your wedding planning experience so far. And subscribe to my channel. If you've not subscribed yet, it would be good to have you subscribe to my channel, because that way I can grow a community and I can get feedback from you more, and just continue to share this wonderful information as they keep coming to me. And then lastly, please click the notification bell so you get notified whenever I push out a new video, so you don't miss out and you're not just stumbling on my channel whenever you get to. It would be really lovely to have you help me with growing this channel. But till we meet again, I am Kemi, and it's been lovely sharing this platform with you. Be blessed and be merry.